Hey class, so welcome back to a new tutorial. For this game, it's actually really similar to our moving backdrop with the car racing game, but the one that I'm really going to focus on the coding for this are the moving dogs that you're about to see. So there's really just a solid backdrop on this game, so the backdrop isn't going to be moving, but we're going to add multiple sprites, and the whole point for this game is your main character is going to try and avoid those sprites that are moving along the backdrop. So I'm going to go ahead and push play for, for you guys to see what I mean. So my cat is the main character, and he's going to avoid the dogs, and as you can see that the dogs are crossing over here. Um, and then if if the cat does touch the dog, then the cat is going to reset. So there are some options here that you're going to have to decide. One is if you want to add a scoreboard, and second, you can also add a timer. So for me, I thought this game made more sense with the timer, and I'm not sure if I want to keep the scoreboard, but that's something you can decide later on. Alright, so let me go ahead and jump into the coding part. So here, I'm just going to call this a moving dog sample. I'm going to grab the scissors to cut out the cat. I'm going to go to my backdrop, grab a paint bucket here. I chose green as the backdrop. I'm going to find my little cat under animals. And then under the costumes, I'm going to change the rotation of the cat. And all I have to do is just click on this background and it'll bring this little square. Then I can turn it around. And I'm also going to shrink the size of my cat. All right. So, of course, a little bit later, I'll program the cat to move up, down, right, and left, or if you've saved that into your backpack, you can go ahead and just drop that off. But the main focus for this tutorial is about programming the moving dogs. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my new sprite to find the dog. Under animals, it's the blue one. And I'm going to go ahead and start coding. And you're going to realize that a lot of these code blocks are exactly like the rock dropping, except now we're going to be focusing on the x-axis rather than the y. When the rock was coming down from the top to bottom, that's on your y-axis, but I want my dogs to appear left to right. Or if you do like the y coming down, depending on what kind of game you're trying to create, then you could also keep that there, but I just want to just show you how the direction changes for this game. Alright, so when the green flag starts, under looks there is the hide, which we started last time. Let me go ahead and zoom in. And we're also going to say he can be set to a certain size. So right now he's at 75%, so might cut down a little bit shorter, just a little bit smaller, I mean. So 50%, 30%, whatever you feel most comfortable with. I'm going to go to control, and then forever, and then he's going to wait. So we're talking about the dog here. The dog is going to wait 1 second for now, and then he's going to show up. And this is where the blocks start to change. Last time with the falling rocks, we said that the set Y was going to go first, but this time we're going to put set X is going to go first. So he's going to set X to negative 200, and then we're going to set Y, and then the random, pick at random comes inside of here. So I don't care where he shows up between the 7 and negative 7 mark. And this is going to keep repeating. Oops, wrong one. Repeat until, grab the blue, until the dog touches the edge. I'm going to zoom out for a second. And then he's going to change X by direction. Because remember, last time it said change Y, but this time we're going to focus on the X and Y. I mean, on the X axis. So he's going to change direction by 5. And then if I wanted to add a scoreboard, I could, just like the last game. So here I would say score, and then we would say he would change the score. So this looks exactly like the rock, But like I mentioned, it's the X and Y. They're just in different spots. Set score to 1 and then it will hide. I'm going to go ahead, push start. And there's my dog. So then I could go back to the cat and code. If it touches the dog, then the cat would have to start over. We can reset the score to 0. So this part of the coding you've definitely done with level 1 and practicing with the car sample. But let me go back to the dog. Now if I wanted to add a second dog to go the opposite way like the sample, I'm just going to go here. I can drop off my code inside my backpack. I'm going to either go find the dog. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can grab the duplicate stamp and also just duplicate it, but it's going to be exactly the same, which is fine. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this from my backpack. So if I push play right now, the dog is going to go in the same exact direction, and that's not really what I want to do. I want the dog to now, just like my sample, one of them's coming from the left, the other one's coming from the right. So what I need to do now is I'm going to, instead of say 200, negative 200, I want the opposite to happen. I'm going to say come in at 200, and then I also want him to change directions here, so I'm going to write a negative 5. So I'm going to go ahead and push start. Okay, so he is coming from the side, but it would be nice if he pointed to the other direction, so that's an easy fix. I'm going to go here to point direction. Under show, he's going to turn left. And he is working. He technically is coming from the other side. But I'm going to change the direction under the rotation style so that he is setting up. Now, if I don't want them exactly on the 7 and to negative 7, like that's too, it's not really random anymore, I can change this and I can say, okay, maybe you can start at the top and you can go all the way down to the bottom. So maybe just open up his boundaries of where he can go. So I'm going to go ahead and push start. So now they're not exactly on the same line. They are choosing some random spots. So that's pretty much how you add your moving sprites on your solid backdrop. And now I'm going to have you guys go try it. So feel free to go back to this video. You can open up the tutorial notes that I have posted online. But again, it's really just like the falling rocks, except just that we're switching the X and Y this time.